Hi, my angels. Happy Friday. I hope you are having an amazing week so far, and I hope that you have really fun plans for this great Independence Day weekend that we have coming up. I realized that I've always been saying hello my angels or my angels in my descriptions for my videos, but I've never actually called you my angels. And you're definitely an angel if you've clicked on this video, because as you can see from today's title, today we're going to be talking about what it really means to be an empath and how to protect your energy if you are an empath or an empathic person in general. Really quickly, I do just kind of want to say, I get a lot of my inspiration for my videos just by going throughout life or having a conversation or something like that, and it'll kind of spark the interest for me to make a video. I feel the need to make it because I feel like a lot of the people around me and in my close circle are kind of going through something right now, and even in my own personal life, I'm kind of going through a lot, and I'm just trying to recognize that as an empathic person or an empath, I can take on the emotions of other people, and sometimes I can get really, really overwhelmed. And so I was just kind of reflecting on that, and I really wanted to make this video because I think it's super important. So let's start right now. Okay, I think a really good way or place to start is to kind of define empathy or what an empath is. First off, I really want to start by saying empathy is a skill that I think everyone can experience and can have. And I think that what separates, someone just having empathy for someone and what creates an empath is that, having empathy, I feel like anyone can have that connection with someone, because I think that when you truly love someone or you value someone in your life, you're able to understand their problems, listen to them, and kind of step into their shoes. But the difference between having empathy for someone that you love and an empath is that an empath is able to kind of feel that energy throughout life and even with strangers. And so that's kind of the way I distinct it in my brain, but I do want to read kind of just a definition for you guys. Interestingly enough, I went to the internet, as I casually do, and Googled the definition of an empath. And according to the Oxford Languages Dictionary, which I find kind of funny, it literally says in the beginning, in parentheses, chiefly in science fiction, a person with the paranormal ability to apprehend the mental or emotional state of another individual. And I find it kind of funny that they have to say that it's a paranormal ability because, like I said, I do believe that empathy is something that any person can experience, but I do think that it is a natural ability to kind of feel that energy and absorb that from the environment around you or just from people that are around you. I think that if you're truly an empath, you can kind of tell when someone's talking to you and they're hiding something, they're hiding a deep emotion, or you can tell that they're going through something personal in their life when you ask them how's your day, and they're oh, I'm good, but inside you can kind of feel ooh, it feels like there's something kind of pressing them. But that's one way. And I think another way is just when you step into a room or you're next to someone or around someone and you can kind of feel their energy, whether that be positive or a negative energy, it can kind of be a lot, and you can definitely feel that. So that's kind of a little distinction there for you. When I was growing up, I didn't really understand what that was, and I feel growing up, I was always told by my family, oh, you're super emotional, you're so sensitive, blah, 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 blah. But I feel that was me at a young age kind of showing this ability that I have to be empathic towards others or as an empath. So that's just kind of a little bit of backstory, but I kind of just want to go into the top 5 things that you should be doing if you are an empath to protect your energy and kind of restore, because I think that that's really, really important. And within the past week myself, I feel I've kind of gone into hermit mode, and I've been trying to heal within myself before talking about it with others and kind of just understanding my emotions. So I'm gonna share my 5 tips on what I think you should be doing if you are an empath to protect your energy. I've written them down on my iPad because I seriously love this thing. I just love it. My iPad was definitely my favorite investment that I ever made, so just had to say it. Empath Protection 101 with Angel, with a J. So, number one, I think this is really important, is asking yourself, really asking yourself and reflecting on this. Are the emotions that I'm feeling right here, right now, my emotions? Or are they the emotions of my friend that I'm talking to? Or are they the emotions of the environment that I'm in, this room that I happen to be sitting in? Like, and really reflecting on that. For example, I've been helping one of my friends who I think is going through their first heartbreak, and really just like talking them a lot through it. And through that experience and through me supporting that friend, I was starting to kind of like feel those feelings, right? And I could sense when that person was feeling upset or like feeling really bad about themselves. And I was like starting to take on those feelings. And I'm like, oh my God, like, am I not worthy? I'm feeling bad about myself. And it was starting to damage how I was viewing myself. And then I was like reflecting one day, because I had like really just a normal, happy, good day. Like, I went to work, I was able to have lunch there, you know, finished my day, nothing bad happened, but I just remember having this like overall feeling of like, oh, you know, kind of sad, and like, why do I feel this way? And so when I was reflecting on that, it helped me to realize like, wow, like, you know, the more you get it, you don't even have to be too involved, but the more you do involve yourself in a situation and someone else's problems, you'll take those on as your own. And that's just kind of a part of being an empath. You know, I feel like I've mentioned on my channel multiple times that I like to write and, you know, go into my journal and express myself, is like really reflect on internally how you feel, whether that you want to write that down in a journal or not, but just reflecting and recognizing your emotions and how you're really doing is important. So I think that is tip number one for sure. So tip number two, which I think is, okay, just as vital as tip number one, if not more vital than tip number one, is, you know, grounding yourself and taking that time to separate yourself from the situation, the person, the place, and really spend time alone, just so that you can create that space to reflect, but also because being around too many energies can be a lot. And like I said, it can be like sensory overload. So when you take that time to be by yourself and have that battery recharge, it's super important. You know, like for myself, I mentioned already, journaling is something that I really like to do. I think also either talking to yourself or to the universe to help you release it. Like for myself, if I can feel myself holding in a lot of negative energy, I will like, you know, say to the universe, like, please allow me to release all the negative energy that I'm feeling and allow for the wealth and goodness to flow within. And that's something that I'll kind of just repeat into my head over and over. And then I know there are a lot of like mantras and different things that you can look up and that might work best for you, but that is what I do, and I just wanted to share it with you guys. Lastly, since I've been kind of feeling this heavily lately, one of the things that I definitely love to do is like wear my crystals, and I have my everyday crystals that I wear. Like I have a labradorite bracelet, I have emeralds, a moonstone, and I wear these every single day. But when I'm starting to feel like, you know, there's a lot going on and I feel like I'm kind of like losing control and like trying to like grasp to sanity again, I definitely gravitate towards another crystal. Or for example, like I put on this necklace literally just yesterday, but this is how light. I feel so much more energized and so much better than I did earlier previously in the week. And definitely something that I want to call out, because I know that crystals, you know, they're made from the creator and from the universe, and it's just like one of the purest forms of a healing energy that comes from the earth. And so having those around you and with you, I think definitely helps out. So I think I can do like a completely separate video on crystals and the ones that are my favorite later on, but I kind of just wanted to bring that up in this video. Number 3, and I'm not gonna lie, I am not the best at this one. I think I could definitely work on it myself, but that's gonna be setting boundaries and limitations. And so Okay, this one's difficult because I feel like if you're an empath, like you naturally just want to help people and you like want to hear people's problems and you want to hear them out because you know that them releasing that and you even just listening helps absorb some of that for them and helps them feel better, right? And so it's like natural that we want to be there and like talk with them and help them through the situation. But like I said, if you're doing too much of that and you're not remembering to cater to yourself as an empath and, you know, follow these tips, you might be feeling really energetically drained. And so you really have to be comfortable setting boundaries. And maybe if it's not like a direct comment, like you're really giving off a lot of negative energy right now and I just can't really handle it, it could be something more like, you know, we're having this conversation and you could redirect the conversation and say, oh yeah, I can understand how you're feeling that way, but let's focus on this. Or what good thing happened in your day today? Or not even that, it could be, you know, we're having a conversation and this person is expecting you to continue and speak with them for hours and hours. Well, you might not have your battery charged enough to give them that, but you could say, hey, you know, I planned that I really wanted to spend some time at the gym or go for a walk, or I have something else that I have to do right now. I'm going to go tend to that. It's just kind of like the nice way to say like, hey, I have something that I need to do for myself. Please respect that. And you go ahead and do that. And I think that also something that comes along with this is like really knowing yourself and knowing what you need as an individual. Like, you know, this one's all about grounding yourself and each person is going to do that in a different way. But like for me, like I mentioned, I am kind of going through something with family and, you know, I'm not going to go into the details of that, but I'm trying to like accept and understand and heal. And what I do when I'm going through my own kind of like pain or, you know, negative experience in this existence is I really like withdraw and I kind of hermit into myself. And I need that time to be alone and to just understand how I'm feeling about that situation. And then when I'm ready, I'll reach out to friends and say, hey, sorry if I've been at MIA, like this is kind of what I've been going through. And that's just my way of kind of, you know, creating that boundary. Number 4, and I feel like it's really interesting that I made it number 4 because if you're into numerology, that's like the foundation, right? So I literally wrote this one as number 4, and this one's important. It's earthing. The practice of earthing is literally getting outside into nature and feeling the healing powers of just being one with Mother Gaia, which is the earth. Also, shout out to you, Gaia, if you're watching. But yeah, it's really just like spending time outside, and for each person that can mean something totally different. Like for me, I love to go on hikes and I love to just spend my day outside walking in nature. It's definitely one of my favorite things to do. So that's what I like to do. Another one, you could just go to the beach and watch the sunset, or go to the nearest park by your house, take your shoes off and literally put your feet into the grass and just breathe. And that is such a healing experience. And every time you go outside, whenever you're having a bad day, I guarantee you that you are going to feel better. It's just, there's just something about nature that has this healing way with every single person, every single soul. I think animals feel the same way. When your dog is cooped up inside all day in the same 4 walls, like, first of all, the dog gets really sad, like, oh my gosh, where's my owner? I miss them. And they're sitting there longing for you, right? And they're thinking all these sad thoughts, like,
oh my gosh, are they leaving me? Are they going to come back? When am I going to see them again? I miss them.
You know? And so, like, let's just talk about the psychology of that, right? So this dog is in this house or apartment or room all day. Some people keep their dogs in crates. Like, this dog is in this little confined space for so much time thinking about, when am I going to see my owner again? When am I going to go out and walk again? And like all of that energy is pent up in that room and in that space and in your doggy, right? And you know, if you're a dog owner and you come home and you see your doggy and they're so excited to see you, they're like jumping up with joy, they're scratching on you, they're wagging their tail all crazy because they're like, yay, my owner is here. But that energy doesn't fully dissipate. But guess what helps them get all of that, you know, excited and anxious energy out? When you take them for a walk. So I think that that's just like, dogs even exhibit this, you know, behavior. So I think it's really important to kind of recognize the the true value that nature gives to us as living beings. So that's number 4. Lastly, I think this one is really important too, which is number 5, unplugging from social media. And I think that social media and the media that you consume can really play a big part in how you view the world and how you view yourself. Like, if you're constantly scrolling down Instagram and you're following all these people and, you know, you see like someone that has 50K Instagram followers and you're like looking at their profile and you're like, oh my gosh, like I wish I had that many followers. Or you're looking at their life and you're thinking, wow, like they live in this beautiful luxury apartment. Like I wish I could have those things. And you're saying all these negative things to yourself. Like, why can't I have that? You're being jealous, or you're just, you know, you're just not in a positive mindset, or you're comparing yourself to these models on Instagram that look a specific way and have a specific body type. Like, all of those negative thoughts that you're putting, even unknowingly, into you scrolling down Instagram definitely play a part on your mental state and how you're feeling, and you're absorbing that, you know? And if you're even just scrolling down and you see hate comments and you happen to read them, like, you're taking that energy on. And so I think it's really important to unplug from social media, because it allows you to kind of just cultivate that space and that healing bubble around yourself so that you can help other people heal. That's basically it. I don't think I really have too much else to say, but I know for myself, I've talked about Jeppy on this channel and told you guys like how much Geppetto helps me out. Like, I feel like I'm an empath, but Geppetto's also an empath, and he can sense when someone is just like sad and upset. And like, me hanging out with Geppetto, I feel like is both of us like healing one another, and it's so weird and it's so interesting. But I just had to give another little shout out to my Jeppy, because he is literally my savior, and if it wasn't for him, I honestly don't know where I would be. I'm gonna grab him just so you guys can say bye. Okay, thanks for watching this week's video, my angels. I hope you have an amazing weekend, and I will see you in next week's video. Bye.